Picture this. You're 67 years old, standing in a security line that stretches for what feels like miles. Your knees are aching, your back is screaming, and you've still got 3 gates to walk to after this ordeal is finally over. Meanwhile, you're watching younger travelers breeze past you, and you're wondering how much longer you can keep doing this every time you need to visit family or take a vacation. But here's what the airport won't tell you. What they're actually hiding from you. There's a completely free service that could have you skip most of this stress, get priority treatment at every checkpoint, and arrive at your gate relaxed instead of exhausted and in pain. It's called wheelchair assistance, and airlines are quietly hoping you never learn how powerful it really is or how easy it is to access. In the next 15 minutes, I'm revealing 8 secrets about airport wheelchair services that airlines deliberately hide from travelers over 60. Some of these you can use on your very next flight, and one of them could save you from missing a connection entirely. Stick around to number 3 because that's the one that changed everything for me and how I travel internationally. Whether you need full-time mobility help or just want to conserve energy for your trip, free wheelchair service at airports is your legal right. But here's the catch that nobody tells you about. You have to know exactly how to request it, when to ask for it, and what specific phrases unlock the best treatment from airport staff. I'm Liam, the terminal traveler, and I've spent 40 years navigating airports, dealing with airline policies, and learning the insider tricks that make travel easier. Let's uncover what they don't want you to know. Secret number 8 is going to surprise you, because most people think wheelchair assistance is only for travelers with permanent disabilities or people who absolutely cannot walk at all. That's exactly what airlines want you to believe because it keeps the number of requests down and saves them money on staffing costs. Here's the truth that changes everything. Federal law, specifically the Air Carrier Access Act, requires airlines to provide wheelchair assistance to any passenger who requests it. Read that again. Any passenger. No visible disability required. No permanent condition necessary. You don't have to be unable to walk. You just have to need assistance, and you get to decide what constitutes need for yourself. What are valid reasons to request wheelchair assistance? All of these count: knee pain from arthritis, recovery from recent surgery, an arthritis flare-up that's making walking painful that day, general fatigue from long walks through massive terminals, anxiety about navigating large unfamiliar airports, recovering from any illness that's left you weaker than usual, balance issues, shortness of breath, or simply wanting to conserve your energy for your actual trip instead of exhausting yourself before you even get on the plane. Every single one of these is a legitimate reason. And here's the best part. You don't need a doctor's note. You don't need to provide proof of disability. You don't need to show medical records or explain your entire health history to some gate agent who's going to judge whether you look disabled enough. Airlines cannot legally ask you why you need assistance. Now, some gate agents don't actually know this because the airlines don't train them properly on disability rights, and they might give you pushback or ask intrusive questions. But the law is clear. They have no right to question your need. When you're booking your flight or checking in online, look for the section that says Request Wheelchair Assistance at Airport or Special Assistance Services. It's usually buried in the Additional Services menu or under a Special Needs drop-down, not front and center where it should be. Why? Because they don't want to make it easy. Every time you click that box, it costs the airline money in staffing, scheduling, and equipment. They're hoping you won't find it or won't feel disabled enough to check it. The uncomfortable truth that nobody wants to say out loud. Airlines don't advertise this service because every wheelchair request costs them money. They have to pay attendants, maintain wheelchairs, coordinate with TSA, and manage the logistics. But it's your right under federal law, and you paid for your ticket just like everyone else on that plane. You're not asking for a favor. You're requesting a service you're legally entitled to receive. Don't let anyone make you feel guilty or like you're being difficult for asking. Here's where it gets interesting, and this is information that could change which service you actually request. There are actually 3 different levels of wheelchair assistance, and choosing the wrong one could mean you're still doing way more walking than necessary or not getting the help you actually need. Most people don't even know these distinctions exist because airlines never explain them. They just send whatever attendant is available and hope it works out. Type 1 is called gate-to-gate service, and this is the most popular option for seniors who can walk short distances and climb stairs independently but struggle with the long terminal walks. Here's what you get. Wheelchair assistance from the check-in counter all the way through security to your departure gate. Then, if you have a connecting flight, you get gate-to-gate assistance at your connection airport. Finally, when you arrive at your destination, you get wheelchair assistance from the arrival gate to baggage claim or ground transportation. You're doing the short walks, like from the wheelchair to your aircraft seat, but you're eliminating those exhausting half-mile or mile-long terminal treks that destroy your knees and your energy. Type 2 is ramp service, and this is designed for people who can walk but cannot safely navigate stairs. You get everything included in Type 1, all that gate-to-gate coverage, plus additional assistance boarding the aircraft via a ramp or mechanical lift instead of stairs. This is ideal if you've had knee replacements, you have severe arthritis that makes stairs dangerous, You have balance issues that make stairs risky, or you use a cane or walker and stairs are just too difficult to manage safely. The attendant stays with you through the boarding process and makes sure you get on the plane without having to tackle a flight of stairs. Type 3 is full assistance, and this is for passengers who cannot walk independently at all. This includes everything from the previous two types, plus the attendant will transfer you from the wheelchair directly to your aircraft seat. If you need assistance getting to the lavatory during the flight, that's included as well, though you'd coordinate that with flight attendants once you're on board. This is complete door-to-door service from the moment you arrive at the airport until you're at your final destination. When you call the airline to request wheelchair assistance, and this is critical, use these exact words. I'd like to request gate-to-gate wheelchair service, or I need ramp service wheelchair assistance, or whichever type matches your actual needs. Don't just say I need help or I might need a wheelchair, because that's too vague. The person on the phone will make their best guess about what you need, and you might end up with the wrong level of service. Be specific, be clear, and make sure they note exactly which type you're requesting in your reservation. Most seniors only need type 1, that gate-to-gate service, but airlines won't take the time to explain the difference between the three types. They'll just send whatever attendant and equipment is available at that moment, and it might not match what you actually need for your situation, and you can advocate for yourself and get the right service the first time. Secret number 6 could be the difference between getting wheelchair assistance waiting for you when you need it, or being told sorry, we're fully booked and we don't have anyone available right now. But there's a loophole that most travelers never discover, and I'm about to hand it to you. Airlines recommend requesting wheelchair assistance at least 48 hours before your departure time for guaranteed service. This advance notice gives them time to schedule staff, make sure wheelchairs are available, and coordinate with TSA and gate staff. It's especially critical during peak travel times. We're talking holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas, summer vacation season, and Monday mornings when business travelers flood airports. You have 3 different methods to request wheelchair assistance in advance. First, call the airline directly using the customer service number on your ticket confirmation. Do not rely on third-party booking sites like Expedia, Kayak, or Priceline to pass along your wheelchair request. Those sites are notorious for not communicating special service requests to the actual airline, and you'll show up at the airport thinking it's all arranged only to find out nothing was ever noted in your reservation. Call the airline directly and confirm they've documented your request. Second, you can add wheelchair assistance during online check-in, which opens 24 hours before your flight. Most airline websites have a checkbox or drop-down menu during the check-in process where you can request it. Third, you can request it at the airport check-in counter when you arrive. But if you're going this route, arrive at least 30 minutes earlier than you normally would to give them time to arrange an attendant. Now here's the last-minute loophole that saves travelers all the time. Even if you didn't pre-request wheelchair assistance, even if you completely forgot or your situation changed suddenly, you can still get help. Go directly to the gate agent at your departure gate and say these words: I need wheelchair assistance for boarding and for my connection. They must accommodate you under federal law, specifically the Air Carrier Access Act. It's not optional. It's not based on whether they feel like it or whether they have staff available. It's required by law. Wait times might be 10 to 20 minutes longer than if you'd request it in advance because they have to call someone and pull them from another assignment, but the service is guaranteed. This works even if the airline says we're short-staffed today or it's really busy right now. Those are explanations for the delay, not excuses to deny you service. The phrase "how to request wheelchair at airport" gets over 12,000 searches every month on Google because people don't realize it's this simple. You literally just ask. There's no complex process, no forms to fill out at the airport, no medical approval needed. You ask, they provide. It's federal law. I've used last-minute requests 3 times when my arthritis flared up unexpectedly right before a trip. Every single time they found someone within 15 minutes. Don't let "we're busy" or "you should have called ahead" stop you from asking for what you need and what you're legally entitled to receive. Now, here's the secret airlines really don't want you knowing about, because it's not just about comfort or reducing how much you have to walk, it's about speed and efficiency. And this one applies even if you already have TSA pre-check. Wheelchair passengers get escorted to the front of security lines, not the back, not the middle, the front, even in standard screening lanes, not just pre-check lanes. TSA agents open dedicated lanes specifically for wheelchair assistance, or they bring you directly to the front of an existing lane. You skip 80 to 90% of the wait time, even during peak travel hours when the security line looks like a theme park ride queue. This applies at all airports, small regional airports, massive international hubs, everywhere. It's federal policy, not something that varies by location. Here's exactly how it works in practice. Your wheelchair attendant escorts you directly to the TSA checkpoint. They notify the TSA officer at the entrance. Wheelchair assistance passenger coming through. The TSA officer opens a priority lane or brings you to the front of the existing lane ahead of everyone who's been standing there. You go through the security screening with your attendant waiting for you on the other side to continue escorting you to your gate. The entire process typically takes 5 to 8 minutes total, compared to 30 to 45 minutes that regular passengers are waiting in those snaking lines. If you have TSA pre-check and wheelchair assistance together, you get the absolute best of both worlds. You get the pre-check lane where you keep your shoes on and your laptop stays in your bag. Plus, you get the priority escort that puts you at the front of even that faster line. It's the fastest possible security experience you can have at an airport. I covered how to get TSA pre-check completely free as a senior in my last video. There's a link in the description below. Combine that free pre-check with wheelchair assistance, and you've just unlocked the VIP airport experience for zero extra cost. You're getting treatment that business class passengers and airline elite status members would pay thousands of dollars annually to receive. You're getting it free simply by requesting the assistance you're entitled to. Secret number 4 is a single phrase that transforms how airport staff treat your wheelchair request. I learned this directly from a gate agent after I nearly missed a flight due to a slow wheelchair response, and it has worked every single time I've used it since. Here's the magic phrase, and I want you to memorize this. I have a tight connection and need wheelchair assistance to make my next flight. Let me explain why this phrase is so powerful and why it gets immediate priority response from airline staff. Airlines are legally required to help you make your connections. That's not a courtesy, it's a federal requirement under disability law. Missed connections cost airlines serious money. They have to rebook you on another flight, potentially provide hotel vouchers if you're stuck overnight, give you meal compensation, and deal with the customer service headache. When you say tight connection, you trigger a priority response from staff because helping you make that connection is now their problem to solve, not just your problem to worry about, even if your connection time is 90 minutes, which isn't actually tight by airline standards. This phrase gets you faster service because staff don't want to risk a missed connection complaint and all the costs associated with it. When should you use this phrase? Use it at the check-in counter when you're initially requesting wheelchair assistance. Use it at the departure gate before boarding starts. Use it immediately upon landing when you need gate-to-gate transfer service for your connection. Use it when calling airline customer service to pre-request assistance. It works at every single touchpoint because it reframes your request from nice to have to operationally critical. Let me give you a real example from last month. I was flying through Atlanta, which is one of the most massive airports in the country, and I had a 75-minute connection. Now, 75 minutes is generally considered plenty of time, but in Atlanta that could mean a train ride and a mile walk between concourses. Before we even landed, I pressed the call button and told the flight attendant, I need wheelchair assistance for a tight connection to gate B12. She radioed ahead immediately, and when we pulled up to the gate, someone was already standing at the jet bridge with a wheelchair before I even stood up from my seat. We made it to my next gate with 20 minutes to spare, and I wasn't exhausted and stressed. I was calm and ready to board my next flight. Don't feel guilty about using this phrase even if your connection isn't technically tight by airline standards. Airlines build buffer time into connections, but that buffer time assumes you're a 30-year-old who can power walk a mile between gates while carrying luggage. They don't account for seniors who can't physically do that, who need bathroom breaks, who need to move at a reasonable pace. You're not gaming the system. You're leveling the playing field so you get the same realistic chance to make your connection as younger, more mobile passengers. Here's secret number 3, and this one genuinely shocked me when I first discovered it. If you're flying internationally, wheelchair assistance is actually more comprehensive, better staffed, and higher quality than what you get on domestic flights, but only if you know what to ask for and how to request the full scope of services available. International regulations under ICAO standards, which is the International Civil Aviation Organization, require higher service levels for passengers with disabilities and mobility assistance needs. More staff are allocated per wheelchair passenger. The assistance doesn't end at the gate. It includes help navigating customs, immigration checkpoints, and baggage claim, which can be incredibly confusing in foreign airports. Here's what you actually get with wheelchair assistance on international flights that goes beyond domestic service. You get wheelchair assistance through passport control. And in some countries this means you completely skip the long immigration lines that stretch for an hour or more. You get help retrieving your checked bags from the baggage carousel, which sounds minor but is huge when you're exhausted from a long flight and trying to spot your bag among hundreds. You get an escort all the way to ground transportation or to your connecting international flight, depending on where you're headed. In European Union airports specifically, there are dedicated wheelchair assistance lounges with comfortable seating, accessible restrooms, and sometimes even refreshments while you wait for your attendant or your connection. How do you request this enhanced international service? When you're booking your ticket, specify these exact words. I need wheelchair assistance for international arrival. including customs and immigration navigation. Don't just say wheelchair assistance because they might only provide gate baggage service and leave you stranded at customs. Call the airline 48 hours before departure to confirm that your request is properly documented in their system and that it includes the full arrival process. Upon landing, stay seated until your wheelchair attendant arrives at your row. Don't try to exit on your own or you'll lose the attendant and have to navigate everything yourself. If you search free wheelchair service flights international online, you'll find that EU and UK airports actually have better wheelchair infrastructure than most US airports. The equipment is newer, the staff are better trained, and the service is more comprehensive because European disability rights laws are stricter. It's a completely different experience from what you might be used to domestically. If you're planning that dream trip to Europe, a Mediterranean cruise, or visiting family overseas, wheelchair assistance isn't just helpful. It's the secret to actually enjoying your arrival instead of collapsing from exhaustion in the airport and wasting your first day recovering. Secret number 2 is something even frequent flyers who use wheelchair assistance regularly don't know about. And it's a game changer for service quality. You have the right to request the same wheelchair attendant for your return flight or for future trips through that airport. And here's exactly why that matters more than you might think. Wheelchair attendants are often contracted workers, not direct airline employees. They work for third-party service companies that staff airports. Because of this, service quality varies wildly from person to person. Some attendants are rushed, impersonal, and clearly just trying to get through their shift. Others are knowledgeable, caring, and genuinely skilled at making your experience smooth. Some attendants know every shortcut through the terminal, which bathrooms are closest to which gates, and how to avoid crowds. Others take the longest possible routes because they don't know the layout well or they're not thinking about efficiency. The best wheelchair attendants understand senior needs without you having to explain everything. They move at a pace that's fast enough to get you there on time, but not so fast that you feel rushed or unsafe. They offer bathroom breaks proactively without making you ask. They warn you about upcoming bumps, sharp turns, or crowded areas so you can brace yourself. They know which elevator is closest and which one is always broken. This level of personalized, thoughtful service exists, but you have to know how to access it. Here's how to request the same attendant for future flights. After you receive exceptional service, ask the attendant for their name and their employee ID number. Most will happily give you a business card or write it down. Call airline customer service and say, "I'd like to request James Rodriguez, employee ID 47382. for wheelchair assistance on my return flight on December 15th, flight number 2847. Airlines will note this in your reservation. They can't 100% guarantee that specific person will be working that day or shift because of scheduling constraints, but your request flags your booking for high-touch service, which means they'll assign one of their best available attendants even if your requested person isn't available. What makes a great wheelchair attendant versus a mediocre one? A great one introduces themselves by name and asks how you'd like to be addressed. They ask about your pace preference and whether you need rest stops along the way. They know the terminal layout cold and can suggest the shortest routes or routes that avoid stairs and steep ramps. They warn you about upcoming bumps, turns, or crowded areas. They offer bathroom breaks without you having to ask or feel awkward bringing it up. I've had the same attendant, Marcus, for my last 4 flights through Dallas-Fort Worth. He knows I need a bathroom stop before security. He knows I prefer the quieter B terminal route that avoids the crowded Skylink train. He knows I want a few minutes to rest at the gate before boarding starts. That kind of personalized service absolutely exists. You just have to ask for it and advocate for yourself. And now, secret number 1, the most powerful benefit of wheelchair assistance that airlines barely mention in their promotional materials or when you request the service. This single privilege eliminates 90% of the stress and chaos of the boarding process. Wheelchair passengers board before Group 1, before First Class, before any elite status passengers, before anyone. You board 10 to 15 minutes before general boarding even begins. Think about what that means. The overhead bin space is completely empty when you walk on that plane. You can store your carry-on bags wherever you want, right above your seat if you prefer. You have time to settle into your seat, adjust everything, get comfortable without crowds of people pushing past you in the aisle. Flight attendants actually have time to help you with storing items, adjusting your seat, or answering questions because they're not overwhelmed with 150 people boarding simultaneously. Why is this game changing specifically for seniors? First, there's no rushing down narrow aisles while people are blocking the way with their luggage. No anxiety about whether overhead bin space will be available by the time you board, which is a massive source of stress for travelers who can't lift heavy bags. No standing in a long line at the gate, shifting from foot to foot while your knees and back are screaming. No fighting the boarding chaos where people are cutting in line and pushing. It completely eliminates the fall risk from crowded boarding where people bump into you or rush past you. You can take your time getting comfortable and organized without feeling pressured or rushed. Here's how to ensure you get pre-boarding privileges. When requesting wheelchair assistance initially, add this phrase, "I'll also need pre-boarding assistance." Arrive at your departure gate at least 30 minutes before departure time so you're there when the wheelchair attendant arrives to meet you. When the gate agent announces pre-boarding, which happens before they call Group 1, identify yourself. "I have wheelchair assistance pre-boarding." Your attendant will escort you down the jet bridge and help you board first, before anyone else. Here's a hidden benefit that surprises people. Even if you can walk onto the plane independently and you don't actually need the wheelchair on the jet bridge itself, you still get the pre-boarding privileges. You can decline the wheelchair at the jet bridge and walk onto the plane yourself, but you keep the early boarding. Simply tell the attendant, "I can walk from here. Thank you so much for getting me to the gate." You board early, you get your choice of overhead bin space, and you avoid the crowds. When people search online for wheelchair assistance airport, most don't realize pre-boarding is automatically included with the service. It's not just about the wheelchair, it's about boarding with dignity and zero stress. After 15 years of stressful boarding experiences, where I was constantly anxious about overhead space and getting knocked around in the aisle, pre-boarding changed how I fundamentally feel about flying. I actually look forward to it now instead of dreading the cattle call chaos that used to define every flight. Before we wrap up, here's a bonus tip for when things go wrong despite your best planning. Because even with advance requests and confirmations, sometimes the system fails. An attendant doesn't show up. The airline claims they have no record of your request. Staff tell you they're too short-handed. Here's your backup plan that forces immediate action. When wheelchair assistance doesn't show up as promised, follow these 3 steps in order. Step 1. Go directly to the gate agent. This is your first line of defense. Say clearly, "I pre-requested wheelchair assistance that hasn't arrived. I need help boarding this flight." Show them your confirmation, email or booking reference that documents your wheelchair request. Gate agents have direct radio contact with wheelchair services and can call for immediate assistance. Most issues get resolved at this level within 10 minutes. Step 2. If the gate agent can't or won't resolve it, ask for the complaint resolution officer. Every airport has a federally required CRO on duty. Say these words, "I need to speak with the CRO immediately regarding disability accommodation." The CRO must respond within 15 minutes of being called and must resolve the issue. This is your legal right under the Air Carrier Access Act. CROs have authority that gate agents don't, and they take these requests extremely seriously. Step 3. Document everything for follow-up complaints. Take photos of your booking confirmation showing your wheelchair request. Note the names of every staff member you spoke with and what they told you. Record the time you requested help versus when it actually arrived. After your flight, file a formal complaint with both the airline's customer service department and with the Department of Transportation. DOT takes disability rights violations seriously, and airlines face steep fines for non-compliance. Here's the magic phrase that gets immediate action when you're being stonewalled. "I have a documented wheelchair assistance request, and federal law requires you to accommodate me. I'd like to speak with your CRO right now." That phrase changes the entire tone of the conversation, because staff know you understand your rights and you're prepared to escalate. I've only had to use this escalation process twice in 15 years of using wheelchair assistance, but both times it worked within minutes. Airlines take CRO requests very seriously because Department of Transportation fines for disability violations are steep, and they don't want that exposure. Let's do a quick recap of the 8 secrets airlines hide about wheelchair assistance so you have everything fresh in your mind. Secret number 8. You don't need a permanent disability or doctor's note to request wheelchair assistance. Any passenger can request it for any reason. Secret number 7. 3 distinct service types exist: gate-to-gate, ramp service, and full assistance, and you need to choose the right one for your needs. Secret number 6. Request 48 hours in advance for guaranteed service, but last-minute requests still work under federal law. Secret number 5. Wheelchair passengers skip to the front of security lines, even without TSA pre-check. Secret number 4. Say I have a tight connection to trigger priority treatment from all airport staff. Secret number 3. International flights have superior wheelchair service that includes customs and immigration assistance. Secret number 2. You can request your favorite attendants by name for future flights. Secret number 1. Pre-boarding privileges. Eliminate all boarding stress and get you overhead bin space. Plus the bonus tip, how to escalate to a complaint resolution officer when service fails. If this video just changed how you'll experience your next flight, if you learned something that's going to make travel easier and less stressful, smash that like button and subscribe to the Terminal Traveler channel. I post new senior travel secrets every single week. Secrets that airlines and airports don't want you knowing about but that can transform your travel experience. Next week, I'm revealing the medical devices that TSA agents handle wrong 80% of the time and exactly how to protect yourself. If you have a pacemaker, insulin pump, or oxygen concentrator, you absolutely won't want to miss that one because getting this wrong can damage expensive medical equipment. Click the video on your screen right now to watch my TSA pre-check video where I show you step by step how to get it completely free as a senior. and click here to subscribe so you never miss another airport secret. Safe travels, and I'll see you in the next one.